Hey, we're the hosts of Pod Save America. Every week we break down the political news that makes us laugh, cry, and scream into the void with a conversation that's entertaining, informative, and hopefully useful.
We try to be serious without taking ourselves too seriously because we all have to stay in the fight. Democracy is under attack, and there's a whole right-wing machine that's counting on the rest of us to give up and check out, and we can't let them win.
So join us. New episodes of Pod Save America drop Mondays and Thursdays. Listen for free on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Odyssey, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We have so much to talk about. Joe Messina, practice manager, Weiner Wellness Center, Spring Fling. What a week. People in droves lining up for that free food from that incredible food truck, but more importantly, for the supplements, the workshops, chiropractic care, and to meet this guy, a legend in this holistic industry. And it is the Holistic Truth. And your host today from the Weiner Wellness Center, where he's on location, Mr. Joe Messina. What a week, huh, Joe? Good afternoon.
Rob, good afternoon, my friend. Good to be back on with you. Wow, it has been a week, and that's putting it lightly. But, boy, we are so excited. The Wellness Week, the Spring Fling, is wrapping things up today. I can't believe I'm saying this is the second Saturday of the Wellness Week already. But here we are, second Saturday, and you're right. The food truck's out there till 4 o'clock, folks. So if you get down here, they'll be happy to give you a meal courtesy of the Weiner Wellness Center, courtesy of Nutritional Frontiers, and the Oriza Food Company. We put it all together just so that we could make your experience here the best you've ever had. You know, in the past, Rob, we always had free food at the Wellness Weeks. Of course, in that year of that needs to be forgotten, 2020, couldn't do it anymore. But we're back. And instead of just coming back the old way, we came back in a big way. We've got the Oriza food truck out there. Everybody that comes into the Wellness Center gets a ticket, Rob. No purchase necessary. Everybody gets a ticket. Go out. Tell them what you want. They'll make it up for you, give you a great bowl of organic grass-fed food, grass-fed beef, organic chicken and vegetables. You know, it doesn't get any better. So we took a concept, made it even better, and we're winding down the week, the Spring Fling. But you can still take advantage of all of the sales, all the specials. We're here till 5. The food truck's done at 4, but we're here till 5. And all the savings are at your fingertips. You can give us a call. We'd be happy to ship it to you, 412-922-9355. Or better yet, come on down. Come on down, do your shopping, watch some workshops. They're all on the big screen, Rob. And we're showing them over and over continuously. And, they can see today. Well, today's are over. As a matter of fact, I just did the wrap-up on the last workshop at noon. And so we'll start the replays on those. But come on down. Everybody's here. Jamie's here. Mike Gallagher's here. Lots of people from Nutritional Frontiers, all the staff at the Wellness Center, just kicking it in, making sure everybody has a great experience when they come down, Rob.
Listen, we have so much to get to this hour, but I just want to ask you, you and I were talking as we always do prior to going on the air, just getting caught up on family and life in general and looking back and looking ahead, and both of us saying we're at that good time in our life, feeling great, excited about the future. I just want to give a message to people who may be a few years younger than us. And, you and I, Joe, we burned a lot of daylight, and we really put the pedal to the metal and went fast and furious pretty much 24/7. So if there's anybody out there who's in their 40s and they're looking for some good nutrition, they're looking for some supplements, they're looking to recapture maybe some of that youth from their 20s and 30s, and they're in that pace of raising their children and going and going and going, and they just need something to jumpstart, this is what they should be doing, visiting what you're doing there at the Weiner Wellness Center. It's what we talk about on the Holistic Truth. I know one thing. Because of you years ago, it helped me get through some really difficult times. You always showed me the way because of your knowledge. I brought your name up to somebody in Ohio the other day, young man who's in that great stage in his life working out. I said, hey, Rob, do you know anybody could help me with some supplements and nutrition? I said, look, I got just the guy for you and the place, the Weiner Wellness Center. So I exchanged some contact information. It really is about paying it forward. And I think it's so important for us, those of us who've walked the walk and been a part of that journey, to tell those who maybe where we were 20 years ago, there is hope. They can feel better. They can get the most out of their performance for their employer, and more importantly, feel a whole lot better, wide awake, and enjoy their family as well. Right, Joe?
Rob, you hit it right on the head. The key word is energy. And like you said, they want to recapture, right? You start getting older, you want to recapture that energy of your prime. And that's one of the topics. That is the topic that I want to talk about today, and we'll get into that in this amazing protocol from one of the probably the most renowned functional medicine cardiologists in the country. Because when you talk about energy, you have to talk about the heart, but it doesn't end there, Rob. Energy. Your brain requires energy. Every organ in your body requires energy. Major muscle groups. We do everything we can to tear that down. And what's the best way to replenish it? The best way to get energy into the cells. That's what we're going to talk about later in the show today. So if you want that key, if you want that, path, come on down. Take a look at the workshop I just did at the last one of the week, and it's called the Sinatra Solution and how you can maximize it. And Rob, it isn't Frank, but it's got to be one of his relatives, right? So you got that going on, and you got everything that you need for this protocol from the best cardiologist in the country right here at the Weiner Wellness Center.
So do you think that this is going to be more of the traditional way people are going to be looking at overall good health as opposed to maybe visiting their friendly, who does a great job, physician, especially with everything that's happened over the last year? If anything, it's making people prioritize their health, and they want to do it safe. They want to be happy. They want to feel energetic, because we talked about energy is such a key. And that's why I think more and more people are going to be looking at what you're doing at the Weiner Wellness Center because of the headlines over the last year that maybe would have never even thought about it before. So timing is perfect for what you do at the Weiner Wellness Center right now, heading into the rest of this year and beyond for many years to come, Joe.
Timing is everything, Rob. And, here's the thing, though. There's no better time than right now. Today, right now. This is the time. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. And you don't know what's going to be facing you tomorrow. So start today. And you know what else, Rob? Don't worry about the past. You can't change it. There's no mistakes. It's gone. It's history. You can't change it. Stop wasting energy, okay? Mental energy on things you cannot change. Instead, focus on what you can do today, and you can get your body energized. We will help you get your body energized with the proper protocols and lifestyle changes. And, Rob, this isn't just a green pill for an ill, okay, like allopathic medicine, a pill for an ill. We don't just talk about, you need this supplement, you need that supplement. It's lifestyle. It's what you eat. It's how you think. It's the activity that you put your body through. It's your emotions, your thoughts, your metabolism. And we have to abide by the golden rule, Rob, and that is you can't live by food alone anymore. You can survive. You can't live. And we want you living vibrantly. We want you living, energetically. We can help with that down here. And it starts with great structure from our chiropractors, great nutrition from our nutritionists, and the products to back it up. It's here. It's the total package, Rob.
Well, and that's the thing in the final minute before the break that I'm so glad you must have been reading my mind. Chiropractic care tied in with all of these supplements and how it's all under one roof of the Weiner Wellness Center. It is that one stop. Literally get you out of pain, get you feeling better, and get you on the path to feeling better, not just for the next week, month, or year, but for the rest of your life. And for people who think that this takes a long time to replug, to re-energize, and to reinvent, they're wrong. Within a month, you'll feel so much better. And you and I both know how quickly a month goes by, right, Joe?
Oh, it goes by fast. And, I'll tell you, you're absolutely right. You have to take care of the structure of your body. Hey, Rob, how many times have you been out in public and just seen people that were hunched over?
All the
right?
time.
They can't stand up, right?
All the time.
Stand up straight. Yeah, your structure is everything. And then, Rob, you have this added problem of tech neck that people are getting by looking down at their phones for all hours of the day. Okay, this is a real honest-to-God thing. It's called tech neck. So structure, folks, is everything and houses your central nervous system, and nothing's going to work without that. So it is total package. That's what we get down here.
So much more to come. So energized, so feeling right with the world right now because I'm talking to my longtime friend, Joe Messina. Of course, this is The Holistic Truth on Odyssey, 100.1 FM, AM 1020, KDKA. Listen, just to remind you, call. They're there right now, 412-922-WELL, 412-922-9355. Make an appointment. Get down there. Let them show you what they can do. That food truck will be there today until 4. And remember, it is another day, and it's almost over. Spring Fling event. Incredible savings on supplements. Order $75 or more. Free shipping. Do not miss this opportunity. And one thing's for sure, having people is seeing and believing, and they definitely believe in what you're doing. And you have some examples on why this has been such an incredible week at the Weiner Wellness Center, of course, as the holistic truth continues on KDKA with Joe Messina. Joe?
You know, Rob, everything that happens, we all believe happens for a reason. And you know, I've been seeing, there's something you and I have talked about many times on this show. It's the effect of lack of oxygen, okay? And we've talked about this many times. It's called hypoxia, and, you know, with the masks and with all these things going on out there, it's just crazy. And, you know, I wanted to talk today about this, the Sinatra solution, because, you know, it still all boils down to the cardiovascular system. It's still the number one killer in the country, no matter what, right? And the people that have had the worst go-around with viruses, especially this year, are ones that have pre-existing conditions with cardiovascular health. So, you know, I'm thinking to myself, wow, I want to talk about this protocol because heart health is so important. But what I didn't realize, and I'm going to hit on this later, it has a direct connection to what's going on today out there. And I'll get to that. But, you know, we wanted to focus on this energy issue right now. You and I talked about energy, having it to spend time with your kids and grandkids and all that. But I think a lot of people are not getting the full picture when it comes to energy. And they think, oh, energy, okay, well, you can get a stimulant, right? That's going to help you short term and then make you crash. You know, there is things that provide cellular energy. You know, we talk about DMG, dimethylglycine, all the time. I've talked about CoQ10 many times on the show. But there's this protocol by Dr. Stephen Sinatra. And he is, as I said earlier, the foremost functional medicine cardiologist in the country. And he's put together this protocol based on energy delivery and energy consumption, okay? And CoQ10, of course, is one of the components. There's 3 nutrients. CoQ10 is the first. Now, the reason is because when people think of CoQ10, Rob, they think, oh, it's good for the heart. But yes, but why is that? Because CoQ10 is the carrier, the mechanism to deliver the cell's key energy, which is ATP, okay? Adenosine triphosphate, ATP. That's what powers your cells. And for those to get in, for ATP to get into the cell, to be fuel, it has to get there. It doesn't have its own wings. It gets there via CoQ10. That's why this nutrient that your body makes in small amounts and diminishes over the years is so important. It basically, Dr. Sinatra calls it the spark of life. Okay, without CoQ10, your cells die. It's that simple. And, you know, the original name for it was ubiquinone. Now, that comes from the word ubiquitous, which means everywhere. Okay? It's in every cell of your body, and there are higher concentrations in other parts of your body than there are others. Like, for example, the highest is in the heart, which is where CoQ10 was discovered, Rob, when they were dissecting a cow's heart. Okay, that's where they found it in 1957. But the CoQ10 is one of these nutrients that, you know, do you make it? Yeah. Can you get it in food? Yeah, small amounts, not enough to be therapeutic. And over the years, we make less and less and less of it. And of course, we add to the destruction of it via, you know, foods and chemicals and drugs, pharmaceuticals. All of these things add to the destruction of this vital nutrient. So it is the key. It is the carrier. It is the nutrient your cells cannot do without. But it goes even further than that, Rob, because, you know, when you talk with most people about heart health, the word cholesterol always comes up, right? It's just a given. That's what everybody's conditioned. to equate cholesterol levels with heart health. Even, Cheerios will do that for you. But, the interesting thing is the major drug for cholesterol, these statins, they stop the production of cholesterol in the liver by preventing a particular enzyme from being deployed. And in that same chemical pathway, Rob, they stop the production of CoQ10. It's made in the liver in the same chemical pathway as the cholesterol molecule. So these drugs, and if you know anybody on a statin, the first thing they're going to tell you is muscle pain in my legs, fog, brain fog, memory, things like that. But the very first thing is muscle pain. And that's because those large leg muscles are deprived of their energy source, coenzyme Q10. And they're going to start, either the pain will start, then the atrophy will follow. So it is that important. Now, these drugs, and here's the interesting thing, CoQ10 actually prevents the oxidation of cholesterol. Now, Rob, when serum levels get real high, it's not because your body's making too much cholesterol. It's because you can't process it. It's because it's oxidizing, which is the result of a deficiency. Now, that deficiency is coenzyme Q10 and other antioxidants. CoQ10 is an antioxidant. But the weird thing is that when you take a statin drug, it stops the production of CoQ10, which is the key nutrient to prevent oxidation of cholesterol, which is what you're trying to prevent in the first place. So you see how it works completely against its, intended path. So that's how important coenzyme Q10 is. You've got to make it part. How much? We're going to go through that, but let me just say that the recommended dose is between 200 and 400 milligrams a day for most adults, Rob. It used to be when I started in this industry, 60 to 100 milligrams was recommended. Not anymore. Too many people on statin drugs, too many people depleting their CoQ10 through other reasons, in their lifestyle, not getting it in their diet, needing more energy than ever and more oxygen utilization than ever. So CoQ10, the hallmark, the foundation of the Sinatra protocol. But it doesn't end there. The next nutrient in this trifecta, Rob, is an amino acid called L-carnitine. Now, we'll get into that in the next segment, but I just want to say, when you talk heart health, most people don't think of this amino acid L-carnitine. They think of magnesium and CoQ10 and omega-3 fatty acids, right? Vitamin C, all those good things. But this is a component that most people don't focus on, and it does the exact same thing that CoQ10 does, but with a different energy source. So instead of ATP being delivered directly into the cell by CoQ10, L-carnitine is a transport mechanism too, but it transports energy derived from stored fat. It converts fatty tissue into energy. Now, isn't that, Rob, a source of energy that most people in this country today have plenty of? They just don't know how to convert it, or their body lacks the components, these nutrients, to convert that fat into energy. And isn't that the basis of this big keto craze going on right now, right? Is using your body's stored fat for energy. Well, there's a component we've known about for a long time that is vital in that conversion, and that component is L-carnitine, and that's part 2 of the Sinatra protocol.
We're going to come back. He's got much more of that and more, but I want to remind you the best way to get plugged into what they do is go to drwiner.com, and they're there right now. If you want to make an appointment with any of these amazing people, you just want to go and say, look, I need some guidance. Call now, set up that appointment, 412-922-WELL, 412-922-9355. That's 412-922-9355. And again, that website is drwiner, WINER.com. Joe Messina, Rob Pratt, The Holistic Truth, every Saturday, Rob Pratt Saturday from 1 until 2 p.m., part of our weekend Saturday lineup here at Odyssey, 100.1 FM, AM 1020, KDK. Again, It is 412-922-WELL, 412-922-9355. Okay, right back to Joe Messina. Don't forget Dr. Weiner, WINER.com, The Holistic Truth, every Saturday. Rob Pratt Saturday, 1 to 2 p.m. Odyssey, 100.1 FM, AM 1020, KDK, 412-922-WELL, 412-922-9355. Where's our next stop, Joe?
Okay, so we're talking about L-carnitine, and we're talking about the Sinatra solution, this protocol for energy, heart health, energy for every cell in the body. And we always focus on this protocol for heart because the heart, requires the most energy. It never stops, right? 24/7, 365, it's working. So energy and heart are synonymous. Heart health and energy are synonymous. And we covered the first part, which was coenzyme Q10. We started into the second part of this protocol, which is L-carnitine. I'm going to finish that up and then take us home with part 3. So L-carnitine, as we know, the primary function of L-carnitine is to transport fatty acids into the inner mitochondria, into the cell where they can be burned as fuel. Transport fat to be burned as fuel. Now, if that doesn't sound important to you, okay, then you're not understanding the mechanics of what's going on. Why is heart disease such a problem? Well, isn't obesity an issue in this country as well? We're not transporting the fat that's in our body into energy to be used. So the result of that, Rob, is that we have an obesity issue and a heart disease issue because they're intricately connected. Okay, now, it goes further than that. Now, let's say, for example, you like a vegetarian diet. You're going to be extremely deficient in L-carnitine. Okay, it's not going to be synthesized very well from a diet of beans and rice. So you need to supplement with L-carnitine. If you eat a vegetarian diet, one of the things you're going to lack the most are these essential amino acids. Make sure that you supplement with L-carnitine because, Rob, it doesn't, just because you're a vegetarian doesn't mean you are not at risk for heart health and heart disease. Even vegetarians can have heart disease. And why? Because many of the nutrients the heart needs come from these amino acid and animal sources. Coenzyme Q10. Okay, the highest sources are in certain organ meats. Okay, L-carnitine, the highest sources are in animal products. So, these are reasons why if you are a vegetarian, and you can be, there's nothing wrong with that as long as you supplement your diet. Okay, so now it gets better with L-carnitine, Rob, because, the heart gets about 60% of its fuel from fat sources. 60% of its fuel, okay? And what we need to do is maximize the oxidation of these fats, okay? And that is crucial to anybody with heart disease. Now, the key and why this is leading us right into it is because an oxygen-starved heart will struggle to pump enough blood. Okay, so you see how it all connects, right? The more extensive the heart disease, the less oxygen's available to work. The weaker the heart becomes, the more problems with congestion in the lungs, other organs, and the arteries. So it's a process, and we can help this process through this protocol. So that's number 2, L-carnitine, CoQ10 and L-carnitine. Now that takes us right into part 3 of the Sinatra solution, Rob, and you're going to die when I tell you what this is.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Ready?
Yep.
Sugar.
Ooh.
Nah.
What?
Okay. What? Yeah. Okay. I think that's exactly the result I wanted to hear.
I would have never guessed that. Go ahead.
Exactly. Okay. Now let's get a little bit more into it. This is a very, very specific sugar called D-ribose. And Dr. Sinatra calls it the sugar of life, the missing link where most people are going wrong and why heart disease is such a problem in this country. Now, D-ribose is a very simple sugar that is unique, Rob, in that it has a life in the body of about a second. As soon as you ingest it, it goes directly and converts into energy. It doesn't build. You can't have a source or a pool of D-ribose in your body to draw from, right? You can have sources of fat to draw from in your body for energy. You can't store D-ribose. It's biologically and mechanically impossible to do. So when I say sugar, I mean this is a very, very unique, very specific, simple sugar, and it does not affect blood sugar levels. It does not affect glycemic response. None of that. There's no time for that, Rob. That's why I made that point up front. There's no time for any of that to happen because it goes immediately into the cell, into the engine, into the mitochondria, and is burned as energy. Okay, so that is part 3. Now, this part of D-ribose is very important because it also has the ability to rebuild the energy in the energy chain, okay, that's depleted by heart disease. So the first 2 nutrients, CoQ10 and L-carnitine, were carriers of energy, okay? D-ribose is a replenisher of energy. Now you can start to see why this protocol is so important and so effective, because everything about it centers around energy, and from ways that nobody is actually using in their lifestyle, Rob. If you're not getting enough L-carnitine, you're not converting fatty acids into energy. Okay, so if you're not getting enough CoQ10 in your body because you're depleting it, then the key nutrient for cellular life is missing. And if you're not getting D-ribose, which is almost impossible to get from your diet, it has to come from supplementation. Then the rebuilding of the energy, okay, that factor is not going to be there. Now, the key with D-ribose and what really sets it aside from all of these other nutrients is that it can be, let's see, how do I put this? This nutrient, Rob, it has the ability to increase mitochondrial repair. Now, that means you heal faster, okay? Because the faster you get energy into the cell, the faster it can heal. Think about exercise, Rob, extreme exercise, or anything that gives you where the next day you're going to be sore. That's your muscles tearing and rebuilding. That soreness is that process, and that's a natural process. But what if you could speed up that process and diminish or reduce or even eliminate the soreness? You can through the use of this nutrient, D-ribose. And I can tell you personally, I've had it and used it for that reason. But it immediately gets into the cell. It immediately starts to recycle energy and starts the repair process in the mitochondria, in the cells, and it puts it into overdrive. Now, you're not going to get it in your diet. You've got to supplement with it. And there's an amount that you absolutely have to take. And that amount starts at 5 grams, Rob, not milligrams, grams of ribose. This protocol from Dr. Sinatra starts at 5 grams and goes up to 15 grams of D-ribose, depending on the level of heart disease or heart malfunction in the patient. And he goes up as high as 15 grams. If it's severe congestive heart failure, if it's severe issues of, say, gingivitis, okay, then it's very similar, gingivitis and heart disease. So you need it for both. But we do. The good news, okay, the good news is that we have a formulation that was designed around the Sinatra solution. And this goes back, Rob, about 12, 15 years ago, early days of Nutritional Frontiers, because Jamie and I were working with a physician down in Florida, Dr. Mitch Ginn. And Mitch was instrumental in designing this particular formula, Power Fuel, the first version of it especially. And he knew of Dr. Sinatra's work then, and was following the protocols in his clinic. And so he said, all of these nutrients, none of them, there's not a single formula out there that combines his protocol. We went, okay, there's an opportunity. So we worked with him, Jamie and I, and we came up with Power Fuel. And Power Fuel combined for the first time ever CoQ10, L-carnitine, and D-ribose. And it became, and the name just was a natural, right? Power Fuel. And that's what it does. It fuels your body. It gets the energy where it needs to be. It recycles the energy that's in there. It helps you derive energy from fatty tissue, and it drives CoQ10 into the cells. So that was the very first version, Rob, of Power Fuel. And then over the years, we had doctors using this formulation for everything from athletes, athletic performance, heart patients, Parkinson's patients, for the brain. And also, this is really, kind of unique, but it was being used in perioperative situations. So because of its ability to speed up recovery time at the mitochondrial level, they were using it 2 weeks before and 5 weeks or 4 to 5 weeks past surgery, and using it as a healing aid for its ability to get the energy into the cell and cut down on repair time and increase recovery time.
We have one more segment, but for all of this and more, make an appointment. Call, even ask for Joe. He will lead you in the right direction, what you need, how to get started, what the first step is, the second, third, and the rest of your life as well. So it's 412-922-WELL, 412-922-9355, drweiner.com. Don't forget Weiner Wellness Event, Spring Fling, just about done. $75 or more. Those orders are ship free. Get down there, get your orders in, pick up the phone. Ladies and gentlemen, don't miss out on a great opportunity. And what an amazing Spring Fling it's been. Thank you to one and all for making it such a success. Back with more, The Holistic Truth. Joe Messina, Rob Pratt, Odyssey, 100.1 FM, AM 1020, KDKA. Well, class is just about dismissed, and it's been an incredible hour, or almost an hour. We're just about 10 minutes away from saying goodbye for another week of The Holistic Truth. But we're going to let Joe summarize, kind of remind everybody why you need to plug in. And if you want to get re-energized, you want to reignite, and you want to restart your life the holistic way, The Holistic Truth every week, Saturday, 1 to 2 p.m., and the Weiner Wellness Center can get it done. And, Joe, I guess the best way to kind of conclude before you wrap it up in the few minutes we have left, what a Spring Fling event. Definitely lived up to our expectations, maybe even more so, right?
Yes, it did. We're very happy with the turnout here at the Weiner Wellness Center. We're happy with the energy and everything we could do. I mean, to be able to bring back the free food for everybody, Rob, I got to tell you, people were astonished. They were like, oh, well, what do I have to pay? We said, nothing. Here's your coupon. It's free. It's $0.0. You get a meal. We had people come in with their kids. They all got a meal. Okay, that's the generosity that, of course, was started years and years ago by Dr. Weiner, and we're trying to make them proud and take it to the next level. And we got staff on the phones. As many people that are coming in, Rob, and this is like the first really big event where they're all coming in, which the phones are still ringing off the hook too. So people still like to get their orders shipped to them, get that free shipping at $75, and we still have people placing an order and coming and picking it up at the back door. We have curbside too. So all of those things are still going on. The energy's fantastic. We're already talking about the next one in July. And, that's the funny thing. When people come in, one of the questions they ask is, when's the next one? Because they need to know how much to stock up on to get them to the next sale. So it's been a home run all the way around. And, Rob, you nobody promotes us like you do, buddy, and we appreciate it.
Well, I'm always grateful. And the class is about dismissed. So before we say goodbye and ring that bell, go through what we have to remind folks about as far as what we need to do just to make ourselves feel better. And the first step is to make the call, 412-922-WELL, 412-922-9355. And if somebody just knows that they don't feel right, don't ever think that you can't get help, because you can at the Weiner Wellness Center. No matter what the problem is, if you just need to feel better, we need to let people know that they are welcome, right, Joe?
They are welcome here, Rob. The staff's growing. The services are growing. Okay, we've got now 3 chiropractors on staff. Dr. O's here, Dr. H, and our newest, Dr. Phil Ross. You know, young guy, athletic, lots of energy, bringing a whole new vibe in. He's been working with a lot of athletes over the years. He brought in a couple wrestlers and boxers that he's been working with. He works with golfers on a regular basis as well, with through chiropractic. Like you said, structure for everything you do is important. And so we got Dr. Phil. We got Ashley Rozzi is our newest nutritionist here. She's also a naturopathic physician. She's been doing the Zyto scans for people here. That's a vibrational energy medicine device, non-invasive. It's similar to kinesiology without the muscle testing. So we have her doing that, and of course Jeff's schedule is just filling up fast. Jeff Niznik, our kinesiologist, and you know what else, Rob? They're working together. Ashley Rozzi on the Zyto and Jeff on the kinesiology. And here's how that works. Ashley does the initial scan on the Zyto. And this is, like I said, non-invasive. It's a little device you put your hand on, and it starts to read the vibrations and the frequencies in your body. Now, she can then give you a bird's eye view of what's going on, some things you need to avoid, some diet suggestions, some lifestyle changes that you need to make. Then you get over to Jeff, and he fine-tunes the whole process by actually getting into dosages, because part of Jeff's kinesiology workup on you is to not just help you, and your body will tell you these things, but not just to interpret what nutrients you need, but how much of them. So we can really fine-tune a protocol using both Ashley Rozzi and Jeff Niznik. And then, of course, structure is right in there with everything. You got to make sure you are structurally sound. Dr. Orbach and Dr. H, Dr. Honigman did some amazing presentations in their workshops this week. They never cease to come up with something new, something different, something informative. They're total opposites. Dr. H is all of the science, and Dr. O is about your body and how you connect with it and your neurological aspects of it. And, he talked tremendously about workstation habits you can do. I mean, how many people, Rob, find themselves sitting for hours on end all day? Sitting is the new smoking in this country. And Dr. Orbach has so many tips on what you can do at both office workstations and home workstations as well. So it's all here. And then, of course, the amazing formulations, the amazing products that we have here, putting them on sale 5 times a year, and we're going to be extending the sale, Rob. I want everyone to know that unfortunately we won't have the food truck after today. They're here till 4, but after that, next week, we'll still give you those great savings. We'll still ship those products out to you, free shipping at $75. It isn't over yet, Rob. We're still taking it home.
Listen. Thank you, as always, a joy and an experience that I always, on my way home after a long day, continue to revisit some of the things that you talk about, and it continues to make sense all of these years later. Listen, you can take the right step by taking the first step, and it's all about getting engaged. It's all about stepping up, and it's literally just a phone call away. 412-922-WELL, 412-922-9355, Dr. Weiner, WINER.com. Hey, thank you so much, Joe. We'll do it again real soon.
Absolutely. I'll see you soon, Rob. Thanks so much.
The great Joe Messina. They do incredible work. Jamie Dorley, of course, all of them down there. Jeffrey Niznik, Dr. Hahnemann. I absolutely love Dr. Orbach, what they do. And if you need to find out more, my best advice is go to Dr. Weiner, WINER.com. And if you want to make an appointment, you don't have to wait. They're there now. Pick up the phone, get engaged, get going, and restart. Get energized. Get the most out of your life. 412-922-WELL, 412-922-9355. Folks, that's it. That's a wrap for today. We're going to go home and wind down, and then we'll be back at it first thing in the morning tomorrow at 5 a.m.
How's your mental health? I'm Listening with Dr. Christine Moutier.
The way the culture is changing around mental health is amazing. There's this open-mindedness now to understand that part of being human is mental health. It's this incredible, I would say, just like a burgeoning area where we can all learn how that works for us and for our loved ones so that we can just be so much smarter. We can take the stigma out of the whole conversation, let alone if we need treatment.
Explore more at imlistening.org.